Hi, this is Jarls again for another iteration of cheaper reenacting. Of course, as soon as I filmed the last video, I thought of a whole bunch of other ways that I use to save money on doing Viking Age reenactment. One of them is you buy your cloth wholesale and you sew it yourself. One great place to get a lot of linen that you can dye yourself with their dyes, and they work really great, produce great colors. The linen is nice and thick. It's great for wearing for clothes, lasts a long time, everything like that. Is Dharma Trading Co. Their website that you can search up, it's Dharma, D-H-A-R-M-A Trading Co. And they're a great place to get some basically, yards and yards of linen. It comes super thick. It's very cheap. And you can get that there and be able to dye your own linens and make your own clothes. That's a great way to save money on all those sites that take forever to get you your stuff. So that's one way. Another way that you can do to save money, because furs are the preferred method for a reenactor to sleep on because they're soft, fuzzy, and they keep you warm. One way that you can save money on that is to actually pick up roadkill. Now, excuse me. One of the animals that is acceptable is deer. Deer has a large size. It's very easy to skin. You can watch a couple other YouTube videos and do the skinning process. I'm going to do one as soon as I can find another deer to do it. On top of that, if the deer is fresh enough, you've got yourself a mess load of red meat for your group. But they're really great to be able to pick up, get a lot of things. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some Viking Age furs that are acceptable for reenactment. One thing that, you've always got the wolves, if you're a conscientious environmentalist, and believe you can use coyote. But, wolves, coyotes, rabbits, reindeer, bears, and also kind of one of the weirder ones, moving into the more weird of furs. I classify beaver as a weird fur because, being an American, the only time I ever heard of beavers being mentioned is during our point in history when beavers were so, valued within our history as Americans that it was a big deal and part of westward expansion and everything like that. But no, beavers are in Scandinavia as well. Another thing, Vikings would skin their cats. So if you really want to go down that route and, welcome yourself to that level of wrath from a lot of people, you can do that with some roadkill. Please don't kill cats just so that you can skin them. Please, please, please do not. But that is a fur that is Viking Age acceptable. There are a bunch of others, but those are just the ones that can come off the top of my head that are, easy accessible for roadkill. Another way that you can save some money is get people crafting. I'm going to kind of name off a list of crafts that are more helpful for your group than necessarily they are fun. One of them is learning how to craft with fibers, because sewing sucks. It really does. I could probably find a picture of it, but I actually sewed through my finger once, and that was the most horrific, painful, and evil experience that I had ever had. On top of that, people today are just not made to hand sew. Sewing sucks. There's nothing like hand sewing your tunic to make you realize just how much of a weakling you are compared to your great-great-great-grandmother who had to hand sew all of her stuff. So, there is that. Another thing is someone who is good at using woodworking tools, because when you're making your tents and you're making your spears and everything like that, having somebody know what they're doing to be able to, you know, shave down wood in 1/10 of the time that it takes us normal people to try and sit there with a pocket knife and carve their spear is a great way to make things cheaper and take less time for your group. Another thing, they can look at the chests and they can look at all the other stuff and then tell you exactly how to make them, and you can spend $10 on a nice board and have yourself a nice chest that people would pay like $80 to $100 for, because they don't know how to do it. Another way to do more cheap reenacting is to yes, of course, people want to blacksmith. Well, blacksmithing actually does kind of help the group. You can get somebody who is interested in blacksmithing, who's not necessarily experienced in blacksmithing, to start doing blacksmithing and make some nice sharp knives for you to be able to use around camp, and everything like that. Get them all practiced up before you hand them a chunk of spring steel to try and make them make weapons for blunted steel combat. It's not easy. I've been around a forge multiple times in my life. I've spent a lot of time at the forge, and working with spring steel is still hard. It sucks. But another craft that is very good for people to have that will help you is leather workers, especially cobblers, because Viking Age shoes are hard to make. If you get somebody who likes to make them in your group and everything like that, that will cut the cost for your group astronomically. And basically, when you're creating these groups, if you can get people interested in different crafts, you can wind up with people trading goods amongst each other within the group, so that basically everybody is getting stuff for the cost of the materials. I'm sure there's more that are going to come to my mind, but as of right now, that's what I have. So, again, have a good night. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe this video and subscribe to my channel so that we can get some more people out there learning to do what we do. Have a good night.